Hey, welcome to the Sports Reverends podcast. My name is Dan.
And my name's Drew.
We're no experts, but we are
the Sports Reverends.
Hey, welcome to the Sports Reverends podcast. We are back at it. We got the coach with us. How you doing, Coach?
Coach is good. How are you guys?
Doing well. How about yourself, Drew?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Looking forward to the Super Bowl and looking forward to talking some sports with you guys.
Yes, let's do it. Let's start off with some Sports Reverends quick hitter news. The Toronto Blue Jays signed Marcus Semien to 1 year, $18 million deal.
For the first time since 2013, no new members were elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Karis LeVert has been cleared of all medical issues, cancer-free.
Conor McGregor loses to Dustin Poirier in the second round via TKO.
And Manchester City goes to the top of the EPL, beating West Brom. Boo! Before we go to a word from our sponsor, we have a special word from Sports Reverend Drew Martin.
Well, this could go in the dumb quick hitter category, but the 2021 Pro Bowl is going to be played via Madden NFL 21. The teams are going to be led by Deshaun Watson, Kyler Murray, Snoop Dogg, Keshaun Watson, Bubba Wallace, and our favorite Marshawn Lynch. Yeah, this is just dumb. Let's go to a word from our sponsors.
Have you ever thought about how well your investments are performing? Have you wanted to understand how the stock market works and how you can look after your financial future, but have been unsure of where or even how to get started? Train to Invest is North America's leading investment education and training corporation, with the sole purpose of providing a new way of thinking about wealth management. Through teaching, training, and coaching individuals in both the art and science of self-directed investing, Train to Invest offers a complete education and training experience to empower families to begin their journey of planning for future generations through investment education. To find out more, look at www.traintoinvest.com and download our free ebook. Again, www.train2invest.com to find more information about our program and download our free ebook.
Welcome back. It was 1 year ago today where the late, great Kobe Bryant passed away, and we just thought we'd do some of our favorite Kobe memories. I'm going to start with the coach. What is your favorite Kobe Bryant memory?
This was kind of hard because A, I had to split it with you two, and B, there's just a lot of things about Kobe that were really cool. I saw him play once live. I think that was just amazing to see him actually play. But when Matt Barnes of Orlando Magic tried to freak Kobe out by pass making like right by his face, and Kobe didn't even flinch, that was the day Black Mamba was born, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. That was just Mamba mentality right there. Drew Martin, what's you?
My favorite memory of Kobe was when he dropped 81 points on the Raptors. Not a good day for the Raptors history, but they get the headline somehow.
I love the commercial he does with Jalen Rose as well. It's super funny.
Oh, yeah.
And the endless memes. It's great. There's one meme that says "Smile if Kobe dropped 40 points on you," and all these guys, Vince Carter, all these guys have smiles on, and then Jalen Rose, they gave him 2 smiles, and that was just gold. Love that. Mine was, there's so many, but I guess the most memorable thing is when he won over those Celtics in 2010, the Big Three in Boston, and overcoming that, and with in my opinion, a pretty subpar Laker team that was with him. They had Pau Gasol, and I'll let you guys debate this for a second. I in my opinion, Kobe didn't have a top 10 player with him on that team in the league. Next best player is Pau Gasol, and then everyone knows about Lamar Odom and his, at that time, only candy addiction.
That we know of.
So, yeah, that was my favorite when he beat those big three in Boston. Ah!
Well, you're assuming that Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett were top 10 players in the league at the time. That's debatable as well.
Yeah.
But what's really interesting though is if you look at the split when he was 8 and 24, they're exactly the same in terms of games played and points and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's just one of those weird coincidences.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Love to honor the late great Kobe Bryant.
I think my other favorite would be his final game when he what did he drop?
60 points.
Final game 63 or something.
Yeah.
60 points in his final game. Crazy.
On Utah. Yeah, that was nasty. He took a lot of shots, but it was still worth it. His team, whenever people say he took so many shots, it's like he literally had to because the rest of his team was
going to take shots.
just terrible.
Bush Parker, come on.
Yeah, that's just bad.
Yeah,
and it was against a good defender in Gordon Hayward, so that was the exciting part about it.
I think one of the things that's really come about Kobe since he retired even was like him as a dad and him as like a charitable guy. And a lot of times NBA players just kind of fade into obscurity or they become like they go on TNT or whatever. And
he won an Oscar.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant was he was so varied in what he did after and outside of basketball. That's just cool. It's just cool to see that because you don't see a lot of, you don't see a lot of black fathers out there modeling what it's like to be a father, right? Every time you hear about inner city hood, oh, I didn't have a dad, didn't have this, but like Kobe was just a killer basketball player. He was cool, but he also modeled what it's like to be a good dad.
Yeah.
So
hashtag girl dad and hashtag mama mentality right there.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kobe. All right. Let's jump into the NFL. It's Super Bowl Sunday up next in a couple weeks, but let's start with the topics. Drew, take it away.
Well, we got who we taken for Super Bowl. Okay. I talked to you guys beforehand. This is tough for me because at the beginning of the year, I declared that Patrick Mahomes would not win another Super Bowl.
Whoa. Say it again.
I said that Patrick Mahomes would not win another Super Bowl after he signed his big contract. But I also do not want Brady to win. So I'm at a crossroads here, cheering-wise, but I don't see a lot of paths where the Bucs win this game. So I'm going with the Chiefs.
Their
offense is just too good.
To your defense, you actually weren't talking about this year in your argument because you're talking about in the terms of his long contract, which actually starts next year. So to your defense, you're technically not wrong.
Why'd you give him an out? You should never have given him an out.
I'm out of it.
Sweat it out.
Okay, I'm cheering for the Chiefs.
I'm gonna go with the Bucs. I'm a huge Tom Brady fan. I like the way he does business.
No, you're not.
I love Tom Brady. Love Tom Brady.
Why are you on this show right now?
I'm the contrarian of the group, but I'm agreeing with you, Drew, that it's going to be very difficult for the Bucs to win. But I'm hoping for Brady because Mahomes has got like 10 more years to figure this all out. Brady might have 1 or 2 left. So
Brady already has like his resume in his 40s is a Hall of Fame resume, which is ridiculous.
It's all about the rings.
I saw a stat saying that he's the Bucs leader in touchdown passes thrown all time.
That's insanity to me. Like it's absolutely ridiculous. And no, I have to give him the credit. He's been ever since Bruce Arians let him run the offense the way he wants to run it. They've been playing really well. But at the end of the day, I don't think the Bucs will hold off the Chiefs. The Mahomes is just, and the offense is just too good. Too much for that defense for any defense to handle at this point. I don't know. So I'm going.
Seems like they're just toying with teams. Like
they get up, they get their leads, and they just kind of coast. And
I don't know how you guard Travis Kelce at the same time guarding Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Because you need an extra guy on both guys.
If they didn't have their rookie running back healthy either, then I would be a little more worried because they need to have some sort of run game. But I don't think Le'Veon Bell or the other Williams guy is good enough. But with the rookie running back, Clyde Edwards, Hilaire, they're just too dynamic.
And they're peaking at the right time. You see a lot of football teams will peak really, really early or in the middle of the season. They're peaking just through the playoffs, and that's going to be a tall order for the Bucks to beat. But that kind of segues into our next kind of topic is, what do you think if there was a game plan for the Bucks to win? How would you lay that out?
The game script for them to win is to get the ball first, to run the ball, and just eat the clock as much as I can. Because the Chiefs are susceptible to the run, but once the Chiefs get up, you can't run. Like you can't risk falling behind 2 touchdowns to the Chiefs. They're just too potent of an offense. Like you need to eat at least 8 minutes each possession. You can't kick field goals. Like they'll have to be aggressive. That's something we didn't really talk about the championship weekend too much, but that's what I found with the Packers and the Bills. Were just way too conservative when it came to settling for field goals on 4th and goals.
Terrible mistakes is what they were.
Yeah, like the 4th and goal from the Packers was the worst of the weekend, but there was a couple where Josh Allen could have just I trust Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers more than those teams' defense.
Oh yeah.
And what the Bucks need to do is just tell their punter that he is have a nice week on the bench, and tell their kicker to have a nice week, and just go for it. Because if you try and trade field goals for touchdowns, it's not going to work.
Losing proposition. What do you think, Sports Rev Dan? What do you think? Anything to add to that?
No, it's very much the same. Las Vegas in I can't remember which week, early in the season, laid the blueprint on how to beat the Chiefs. And exactly is you run the ball, you keep Mahomes off the field, and at the end of the day, you have to score touchdowns. You have to be good in the red zone. And if Leonard Fournette and
Ronald Jones,
Ronald Jones, if they can, it's possible for sure. This is not going to be a blowout kind of game. I don't think. I think it's going to be tough. I think it's going to be exciting. I think there's going to be lots of scoring, and I think the Bucks have an opportunity for sure because they can run the ball. So we'll see. And Brady, he figures out how to win games at the same time. So,
and you're asking for a quarterback who can control the clock, read the game, make changes at the line of scrimmage. I think Brady is probably one of the few in the league who can pull this kind of game plan off consistently, right? And I think you're 100% right, Drew. You cannot trade field goals for touchdowns. That's a losing proposition any way you put it. And the NFL is called the no fun league because coaches are way too conservative. Like the math analytics has shown that going for it on 4th down is a much better proposition than kicking a field goal.
And going for 2 most of the time is a better.
And I get it if you're in the regular season, you want to put points on the board. But if you're in a playoff game, you got to win, right? Like you got to put yourself in the best position to win. And Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers is a way better bet than any of those defenses getting you 4 stops. That's just mine.
I was literally yelling at my TV when they sent I think it was 4 minutes left, down by 8, sent out the field goal unit. I'm like, there's no way you're stopping Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Like
that's literally Tom Brady's strength is to, kill clock. Like he's amazing on 3rd down. Oh yeah.
And anyways,
it was a
horrible call.
As a Packers fan, it was just terrible to watch.
It was a tough outing for you. So talking
Well,
about old guys, talking about
yeah.
old guys. Who stays, who goes, who retires, who keeps plugging away? We got Brady Breeze, Roethlisberger, and big old A-Rod over there.
I'll just say this just to get Drew a little upset. Mike Wilbon has put out that he believes that a 70% chance that Aaron Rodgers will not play another snap for the Green Bay Packers. Like,
That's a Chicago fan hoping to get Aaron Rodgers out of his division.
yes, definitely.
Or onto his team.
Well, yeah.
Could you
There's
imagine?
no way he's going in division.
Yeah.
But I guess Favre did it. But
He was a free agent at the time, so he could choose.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, but Rodgers on that Chicago team would be unreal.
Rodgers on
any
team.
quarterback on that Chicago team.
They
No,
put
seriously.
Rodgers in it.
If you put like Brady going to the Bucks, that's sort of the same situation that the Bears have going right now. They've got weapons. They've got Allen Robinson there if they re-sign him. I don't know if they will.
The defense is good though.
They got some running game there. They got a good defense. That's like what the Bucks have set up for a quarterback to come in.
But the Bucks had better weapons.
What if they pull out a trade for Deshaun Watson?
That would be incredible.
I know that's not the topic that we're on, but
that's fine.
But
That
I'm
would
just
be-
thinking everyone's talking about, Deshaun for Tua. But I'm like, what if another team swoops in and is like, we'll give you the rest of our picks for the rest of our lives?
Well,
I think Deshaun in Chicago, I would want Aaron Rodgers out of Green Bay then. Like
Houston, the way their track record goes, they might just give Deshaun Watson away, 7th round pick and and a bottle of Gatorade.
2025 though, 7th round in 2025. Just take some of the salary, it'll be okay.
but
Yeah.
seriously, if Houston approached Miami and said Tua for Deshaun straight up, if I'm Miami, I'm jumping on that. Like,
Oh, 100%.
100%.
I know
they'd
there's
be-
going to be picks involved, but
There has to
They'd be
be
an absolute. They're already contenders, and they'd be legitimate contenders this time.
anyways, back to Rodgers.
Right.
The Green Bay is foolish if they think they're going to do any better with anyone else. Like I can see down the road, like Aaron Rodgers is only 36. I know the longevity of quarterbacks is becoming like Brady's setting a new standard.
But he
but
also
you
didn't
still-
play for a long time either.
You still have 3 years, like
Yeah.
at least 4
At least
years.
3 years, yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
enough to give you time. Like their defense is getting better.
Especially when he
It's
had an
still got
MVP
holes,
year.
but-
He's the MVP
Yeah.
this season.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
you
the
can't.
Yeah, it would be foolish to do so. I don't know what they're going to do salary cap wise
Yeah.
because Aaron Jones is a free agent this year, and Jamal Williams, like two out of 3 of their running backs. So I don't know what they're going to do there. Something that I haven't seen a lot of people talk about is that their left tackle was out against the Bucks.
Yeah.
And a lot of the sacks came from that left side. Like I think their team is set up. I think Rodgers to
stay.
Devontae is the
I
best.
think in that perspective, it's time to get rid of the GM.
Yeah.
He's got to go.
Well, they haven't picked a skilled position player in the first round since before Rodgers was the quarterback.
Yeah. And it's like-
insane.
They fired coaches. They've changed systems. You've won 1 Super Bowl in Aaron Rodgers' career.
Mhm.
That's just a waste, an absolute waste. So it's time to get rid of the GM is what I would say. So I don't think he's leaving the Packers this year because he's got 2 more years left in his contract.
Talks about restructuring it though.
Yeah, they'll restructure it potentially to save on cap and whatever, but I don't think he's leaving. I don't think he's leaving the Packers. What do you?
Yeah, I doubt that too. I think he's, especially after this year, he's had a few like non-MVP type seasons in the past couple of years, but this year totally wipes that narrative away. So
The
Rodgers,
only,
I think he's staying. Brady, I definitely think he's still going to be staying another year at least.
What if he wins though? Do you think he retires like that?
No,
Okay.
I think he stays.
I think Brady always has a mentality of I can do it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
How about
then
Big Ben?
Breeze. Oh, Big Ben. Big
Yeah.
Ben will
Big Ben's
stay, but he
done.
should go.
No, he's done. No, he's got to be done.
Well, think if they set him up where he didn't have to throw 70 passes a game.
He's
Right?
He
got to
doesn't
be.
have to, but he just don't want to run the ball.
They don't have a run game. So can you blame him? Think how good they would have been if they established. Well, they had a lot of injuries to their O-line, but like if they could establish their run game. Come on.
But even
He's
then,
got.
like,
He's got to go home.
Who do they have instead? They have nobody.
It doesn't matter.
he
They
just
went
I
got,
probably
they
agree with
went
you.
8
No,
and
I
8
probably
without him.
agree with you, but I don't think he will. Is my prediction.
That defense is so good, you could put anybody in there.
Do you think they have enough to sign Juju Smith?
It does. I don't even think they need him.
Yeah, they don't need to spend
With
the money there.
Like
They got
Claypool and
enough.
Deontay, and
Well, then that just kind of gets your argument about him throwing 70 times. If he's got a great wide receiver core, and he still can't get it done.
Well, I think also because they don't have a run game. You need to have a run game.
Do you though?
Yeah.
well, you need to have the threat of the run game.
They
Like,
they're like the Bills. They have no run game. Bills need to have a run game going forward. So I think Ben should go, but he'll stay one more year. I think Breeze is done.
I think he'll try and gut it out one more year.
With the broken ribs this year, I don't know.
and
But then
Michael
also, like-
Thomas called him out too
Oh, did
on
he?
Twitter,
What did
saying
he say?
he talked about how if teams aren't threatened by a deep ball, it's
Mhm.
easier to cover all your receivers short.
Like Michael Thomas should be the last one talking this year. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
He's not wrong.
No, he's not. He's not. But then, who is your top receiver this year? Manuel Sanders, right?
Might have
Yeah.
been tight end too. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but you put all three of those guys on the field, then maybe Drew looks a little better.
yeah, but he just can't throw the ball deep.
Yeah, he looks like he's just aged.
If you're New Orleans, do you re-sign our good buddy Jameis, or do you stick with Sean Hill? Like, he's old, but he's got lots of money tied up with him. I think his contract's like 16 plus.
Yeah, I think they want to try Taysom.
Yeah, I think Taysom's their future. But I think there's going to be a battle with Jameis Winston there. I don't know.
Well, he's only signed for this year.
And if you're a quarterback-looking team, do you think he's done enough to show you that he's going to be a good enough to run your team? I don't know.
I think Sean Payton wants to run a different kind of offense.
If they can't get like a well-known starting quarterback, then I think they would rely on Taysom. He's pretty good. He did his job, right?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
And it featured, I don't know, if like did Taysom Hill, how many games did he have with Michael Thomas?
I don't know. Not many, I don't think.
Michael Thomas was out for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he missed most of the games together, so he didn't even have that option. So, no, he might have had 1 or 2 games with him, I think. But
But still, that's not enough to
so, anyways, what's your guys' call? Breeze in or out?
in, but shouldn't be. I think Roethlisberger is in, but shouldn't be. Brady, good to go. Rodgers, good to go.
Drew?
Yeah, I think Breeze is out. I think he retires, and I think Big Ben retires too. The other two guys are in.
Here's another random football quarterback we didn't talk about. Matthew Stafford.
On the trade block.
Yeah,
That I did not see coming.
I think he ends up in New England
That would be a good fit.
with Patricia going over there.
I'm a big Stafford fan for sure.
Yeah, I think he's been. I think it's sort of like a lesser version of what Rodgers has gone through with how they haven't set him up for success. Like they haven't given him a good defense ever,
Never.
and
Or running back.
On left. That was tough.
yeah, and then Megatron retires in the prime of his career. And,
This year, who's their top receiver that was hurt most of the year?
Galladay.
Galladay, right? He was hurt most of the year, so that affected his
But
numbers.
Marvin Jones had a really good year.
Yeah, Jones had a good year, and he's a good number 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Stafford, whatever team he goes to, I think he's a good quarterback. So.
And did anybody call Philip Rivers retiring?
Yeah, I saw that coming, but
Yeah, he looked like he should have been retired for a little while.
I felt it was unfair what the Colts did
to Brissett.
Because I felt like Brissett had a really good year the year before.
Yeah,
and earned the right to be a starting quarterback. But
yeah, I agree.
I think still people are holding out for Andrew Luck to come back.
I like it. Andrew Luck coming back 2021-22 season. Calling it.
Can you imagine if the Colts had Andrew Luck? I think they'd be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, 100%. I think so.
Their defense is legit.
Can they still beat?
They made it that far with Philip Rivers.
Can they beat
throwing
Mahomes?
Sidearm?
Can they beat
Andrew
Mahomes?
Luck?
Andrew Luck was at least top 5 quarterback when he retired.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Will he still be though if he comes back?
No, of course not. He needs to time to work himself back.
Okay, well, I'm calling it. He'll be back this year, so we'll see, guys. We'll see.
I know guys that still have them on their dynasty fantasy leagues. Just hoping he comes back.
Wow, that'd be wild.
All right. Any more NFL talk, boys?
Tapped out.
Let's hear a word from our sponsors.
Samara and Jane is an Australian-based accessories retailer with all of the latest fashion trends from around the world. Ladies, update your style game with gorgeous earrings, necklaces, and other jewelry for affordable prices. And guys, you can shop for that special lady in your life too. Use discount code SPORTSREV30 for 30% off your entire order. That's SPORTSREV30 for 30% off your entire order. Use discount code at checkout at samaraandjane.com.
Welcome back, Sports Reverend fans. We're jumping into the NBA, and we're talking top teams in the NBA right now as the season has, I guess, a quarter way in-ish, almost.
Yep,
and basically, can anyone beat the Lakers right now? We'll kind of go through some of our top 5 teams, but are the Lakers going back-to-back, boys?
I think if you look at the contenders who are going to come against them, no one can stop LeBron. In his 18th year, he's just destroying everybody. They just played the Bucks. The Bucks looks terrible.
They won by like a lot. It came down to the last minute, 30 seconds.
No, trust me. The Bucks look terrible. Giannis has not been performing the way he should be. It's been a gong show.
Giannis hasn't beat LeBron ever since he did the arm motion of him putting the crown on himself.
That's just coincidence.
LeBron's beat him every single time.
The Clippers are just still a mess. Brooklyn, it depends.
Why are the Clippers still a mess?
They haven't. Okay, because for me, the Clippers are going to be a mess until way off P actually becomes playoff P. Okay, this regular season means nothing, and they have to.
Can you admit that he looks like he's
putting up some good numbers? He's putting up some good numbers, and maybe Montrezl Harrell was just a locker room cancer.
My vote is for Lemon Pepper Lou, but I'll just leave that at that.
Maybe that is also a possibility. And in the West, I don't think there's really any other team that Denver maybe, but Jamal Murray's been inconsistent. We kind of hoped to see the bubble Jamal Murray come through. I picked him in my fantasy. He's not doing great.
Okay. Looking strictly at fantasy numbers, yes, Joel, but Jamal Murray's hit clutch shot after clutch shot in this early NBA season.
Look, all I'm saying is I don't think any team has enough to stop LeBron and AD for 4 games in a row.
In the West or the whole league?
All together.
Wow.
Lakers are going back to back unless Anthony Davis gets hurt and there's like a 60-40 chance that happens. So
Okay, Drew, I'll let you go, Drew.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough without injury to do it, but I think there are ways to doing it. Um, the Lakers are weak in their backcourt for
Mhm.
sure. And you can attack them that way. Like, yeah. So I don't know. I'd love to see it, but I don't know. I don't want to call them going back to back, but
it's inevitable.
someone else answer this
Clear
question.
that up again. Are they going back to back or not, Drew?
No, I think something will. I think someone will be able to figure it out.
I'm also saying no, they're not going back to back with Ernie Johnson as their two guard and Contavious Caldwell Pope as their other two guard, and who's their starting point guard? Dennis Schroeder from Germany. I don't know. I'm not.
Why does it matter that he's from Germany? What is that?
Kyle Kuzma, really? Kyle Kuzma, like they give him 20 minutes a game. He can't get any kind of rhythm. I like Kuzma, but you gotta like give him a chance. But who else is on the team? Tim Hortons Tucker, whatever his name is.
You're dummying all these guys, sure, but they're still top in the NBA.
They're tied for top in the NBA, and it's so early.
It's 25% of the way through.
Early.
That's not that early.
And it doesn't really matter in terms of like home court this year because there's no fans, right?
Yeah.
The Toronto Raptors are having the most fans in Florida, and half the time they're not cheering for the Raptors, but still they have the most fans in attendance as of record. But okay, so my take is the Lakers are going to be there for sure. They're going to be
conference
league,
finals
obviously.
For sure.
But I'm scared of the Clippers with Ibaka now. They actually have a rim protection and a center that can shoot. And can we talk about Brooklyn for a second? We all have our opinions on Brooklyn, but we cannot deny that they are very good.
I can deny it.
You don't think
they lost to the Cavs, bro, twice, didn't they?
Yeah, but they were missing people.
No, they weren't.
Then
twice?
Yeah.
Yes, they were.
They missed Kyrie the first game, I think. The second
Kyrie was there for both because Colin Sexton.
Durant was out the second game.
Yeah,
I think.
Colin Sexton
went
basically
to town.
Stunned him. All right, that's what Colin Sexton did.
Okay, awesome. Hold on.
So there's no defense being played on Brooklyn.
They just held the Heat to 85 points.
It is a video game team.
Before we get to that, you're saying no to the Lakers repeating, which is fine. And you laid it out because what?
I think the Clippers are too good. I think the addition of Ibaka is going to stop them with rim protection. And I'm putting my eggs in the basket for playoff P. And I think he turns it around. And I have faith in the Clippers. And I also say Brooklyn's better too. So I think either of those teams.
Okay.
Kevin Durant is a man possessed right now. He's like,
do you not think LeBron is just going to D up Durant?
I don't think he can. I don't think LeBron can cover Durant.
I don't think Durant can cover LeBron.
I think he could.
No. Too strong. He's too strong.
I disagree. In the NBA, it's not even about strength anymore. It's about positioning, right?
Yeah, but Durant is all arms and stuff. LeBron's just going to go into his body, draw a foul because he's LeBron, get the superstar calls. Boom, boom, boom. First quarter, Durant fouls out.
Like first quarter.
Yes, that's an exaggeration for sure. But if Durant picks up two quick ones, it goes to the bench. Who are they bringing off the bench, my friend? You can't even name a guy.
Jeff Green. I'd put Jeff Green on LeBron.
Jeff Green.
Let's think about it the other way, though. LeBron or AD pick up two quick fouls, go to the bench. That's even worse.
You got Montrez coming off the bench for at least a little bit. Like that's something that's better than nothing.
I'm just saying, you have like Contavious Caldwell Pope and Alex Caruso covering Kyrie Irving and James Harden.
Yeah, I mean it's not if
That's not
great
ideal.
either way. It's not great either way. I'll give you that.
Right? Like,
I feel Brooklyn's coming out on top in the East for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have enough to beat the Lakers in a playoff series, because we all know playoff basketball is different.
Yeah.
But they, in my opinion, as of right now, the Clippers are the only team that have a legit chance of beating them. Okay. Because of Ibaka was a huge pickup, a massive pickup, and you can tell by how bad the Raptors are missing him right now.
Yeah.
So I think if anybody can beat the Lakers, legitimately, it's going to be the Clippers. I hope one guy does it, but
can I throw my yearly Nuggets pick into here?
Okay, if you were about to say the Indiana Pacers, I was gonna come to Selkirk and slap you. But Nuggets, okay, I'll give you an at least an okay. I totally disagree, but I'll give you an okay.
I'm not saying they will win, but I think the Nuggets probably have the best roster to compete with the Lakers.
You know what? I don't not like that, because they got Jokic and they got a bunch of shooters. And you have Jamal Murray with a little something special.
You got Paul Millsap there.
Will Barton back.
Yeah. And I think Millsap has been underrated his entire career. I'm not saying he can shut down AD.
But he'll take on the challenge.
37 years old. Stop
it. He'll take on the challenge, though.
He'll make him go to uncomfortable spots. If Anthony Davis is hitting those long twos, you can't. It's impossible to guard him.
Jermichael Green's been a good pickup too.
But you just want guys like, it's like when whoever talked about guarding Kobe. Yeah, you want him to take 40 shots. But if 30 out of those 40 shots are super impossible and he hits 10 of them, well, then you just live with that. Right? So if Anthony Davis is hitting those long twos, you live with it. But if you're getting him out of position into those uncomfortable areas, I'll take it. Because out of 4 games, maybe he goes hot for 2 of them. Right?
I agree. I agree with you. I will say the Bucks are the real deal too. I'm a big Drew Holiday fan, and I watched that Laker Buck game. It was really close, and it just came down to what it always comes down to: Giannis not being able to close out a game. But they have Drew Holiday too, and Middleton is taking the next step.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, this is all doesn't matter until we get to the playoffs, really.
Yeah.
It as weird as that sounds, I think NBA basketball is one of the weirdest sports where the playoffs is like a different league altogether.
Yeah.
It's so strange to me that way.
The Bucks are just not deep enough, I don't think. Like, they're playing Giannis's brother minutes right now, and he's terrible. Like, DiVincenzo's in their starting lineup. I don't think that's a winning recipe either.
Well, the problem with the Bucks too is that they only play one way.
Yeah,
they're not multifaceted. They only play the one way, and you've seen the playoffs now 2 years in a row. That doesn't not really work in the playoffs.
You know, a team
Budenholzer's team in Atlanta.
Well, I was just going to bring up Atlanta.
Go ahead.
I would not want to face Atlanta.
Oh,
the way Clint Capella is playing right now.
They're good. They're definitely good.
They're up and coming squad for sure.
They're gonna. I think there's
John Collins and Capella.
Collins might be traded though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. John Collins, he's on the trade block. He's not vibing because it's kind of like the Trae Young offense, right? Just he dribbles around and jacks up long threes when he should be featured. I'm saying John Collins should be featured in the offense. He's that good.
I think so.
If they can figure that out, absolutely, they're deadly. Because I love Cam Reddish. I love Huerter.
Hunter.
Say again?
Hunter.
And Hunter. Oh yeah, those 3 guys. I love all 3 of them.
And Gallinari.
Yeah.
And
Rajon Rondo. Playoff.
They have one of the Bogdans, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one who wanted to go to Milwaukee.
The one who should be starting instead of DiVincenzo.
Yeah,
He's not even starting on the Hawks. Like,
yeah,
it's crazy.
So we got to talk about who's our top 5, who's the 5th team in this top 5 here.
Yeah, let's bang it out.
Clippers, Brooklyn, Milwaukee. Drew's got Denver. I'm kind of leaning towards Denver as well.
I think I got Denver too.
I wouldn't.
I like Boston. I think Boston's the real deal too. Tatum and Brown, they miss games. That's why their record isn't as showing as how good they are. But
yeah,
the addition of Thompson.
I just don't believe in Kemba Walker at all.
I like Kemba.
He's underperformed, I think, for sure. But maybe part of that's due to his injury.
Yeah, he's been out most of the time.
Which is what he was in Charlotte too, though.
Yeah.
No.
I think Jaylen Brown's the real deal, though.
Yeah. He's a great.
He's good. I underrated him for sure. He's definitely good.
Yeah. We have to see. I think for me personally, I have to see a little more from Philly to make them in the top 5.
Yeah.
But
they've also had a lot of COVID issues and missing games and injuries and.
But my mind's actually flipped though. Because before I pegged it Embiid Simmons, now I have it as Simmons and Embiid.
Oh.
I would still trade.
No. Say it again. Who do you have on top?
Simmons. He's been great.
Wow.
He's been great. And he doesn't miss games. Really.
And what were you just about to say? It's some lie that was about to come out of your mouth?
I would still trade Chris Paul.
No, you wouldn't.
For Ben Simmons, because that would make that team incredible.
No.
Incredible.
I love Seth Curry on
guy who can shoot
Philly right now.
Like, honestly.
Seth Curry. So we talk about the what's the name of the club? 90-50-40 club, right?
Have it around, but yeah.
Yeah, 40-50-90 club, right? And it's the 180 club, also known as the 180 club, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, Seth Curry is in a league of his own in terms of statistics. He's got I think he's the 60-50 100 club, okay?
Wow.
60-50-100, and that's incredible.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Dallas should have kept him.
100% they should have kept him. 100%.
Whether
they kept him or DeLon Wright, because DeLon Wright's balling out for Detroit. So
I like Seth Curry better than DeLon.
Yeah, because he can shoot.
Yeah. Let's talk about Canada's team.
Oh.
Let's talk about Canada's team. Drew, do you want to start off with this? Or you want me to go on this?
You go.
Okay. So when did Pascal Siakam sign his big contract? I think it was 2 years ago, right? Not last year, but the year before.
The start of last year, or going into last year, right?
And we expected him to replace Kawhi, which is unfair. I'll give you that. We expected big things from Siakam. Did he deliver? No. And we blamed it on COVID. We blamed it on the bubble, mental health days, whatever. Fine. Now we expected Siakam to come into this year and he worked out hard over the summer, worked on his shooting, was back in the gym, got back to being himself. And what have we seen from Siakam? Garbage. Absolute garbage. I think of Family Guy with the noodle guy, when he gets the blow up, like the advertising thing. That is Pascal Siakam playing basketball. He's just arms and limbs, herky jerky, is just making the wrong reads, and the biggest thing for me is that he's inconsistent. So sure, he'll put up some numbers, and I'm sure you're gonna pull up his numbers for the season, but he doesn't pass the eye test. And the Raptors destroyed the Pacers. Not destroyed. They beat the Pacers without
Kyle Lowry
and Siakam. They got destroyed when Lowry came back. Siakam has already walked off the floor one day after fouling out. And it's tough to say, but the best Raptor right now is Fred. You go Fred, potentially OG, Lowry's been hit or miss, but the dude's 34, so I expect that. And Siakam is nowhere to be found. So tell me, how bad is Pascal Siakam playing right now? Out of a 10, 1 to 10, I give him a 4. He's been garbage. And that's all I gotta say about that. It's frustrating.
Okay, Drew, your turn.
Like I'm just gonna repeat everything that coach just said. It's been tough to watch when you pay a guy that's supposed to be a star. You expect him to have the ball in his hands to close games, and you just can't trust him to do that. We were joking earlier. We don't even think he's top 3 on his own team. And I think that's true. I think there's guys I would trust more than Siakam on the Raptors to close out games. And yeah, I think it is unfortunate. And it's unfortunate that they're locked in now. And they're going to have to figure out a way to light a fire under him or find a team that wants him. But yeah, I just think there's more dangerous guys on the Raptors, and I think he's sort of holding them back from reaching that next level.
Okay, so I hear you guys, and I agree with a lot of it. I agree with especially the end game, closing out games. He's got to be held accountable there. What one factor you guys are missing out on is his defense. His defense, the Raptors' defense, team defense together, is absolutely elevated when he's on the floor because he can cover 1 through 5 basically, and he's been pretty good in his rebounding numbers, and even his assist numbers are not bad. I think he's just under 5 assists. He's 4.7 assists per game. So the biggest problem is inconsistency. I love that he is always consistent defensively though. I wouldn't just throw I wouldn't give up on him quite yet. I think they've just asked him to do a role that's not meant for him. He's not their number one. He's not a number one scoring player. But and in this league, you pay 2 players max or 3 players max, where there's got to be a number 1 scorer and then there's supporting guys.
Who is the number 1 scorer for the Raptors?
Right now, it's Fred. Right?
But you didn't pay Fred to do that. You paid Zach to do that.
Absolutely. That's not the fact, though. The fact is, like, it's not like even if you take Scottie Pippen, if you made him the number 1 scoring guy, well, the years without MJ, they were a good team. They were a playoff team, but they were never a contender, right? You need to have that number 1.
That's a tough comparison.
And I will say Siakam is not on that level of Scottie Pippen, obviously, and honestly, Scottie Pippen's on a different level than what I'm even referring to because how great he was both ways. But anyways, I'm just saying he's not a number 1. You can't view him as a number 1. And plus, you got to give it some time. It's still early in the season. They're playing in Florida where they're being booed by fans and they're not in their homes.
Come on, you get paid
and comfortable.
So much money living in Florida versus living in Toronto. Like,
but the facilities and the
look, I
support systems.
There's so many excuses we can give.
Yes.
Right? There are. End of the day, if you look at Pascal Siakam over the last 2 years, you have to agree that he's underperformed his contract.
100%.
And they shouldn't have given him that money right away. They should have made him earn it. Because look, if you were to sign Pascal Siakam today, are you giving him the max?
Probably. Depends on my team.
Huh?
Depends on my team, but yes.
If you're the Raptors, as a financial decision, you're not going to give him the max because he hasn't played like that.
I still probably would. He's so young. And if you can build around, that's the idea, right? You build around their young core.
Here's the dude cannot shoot.
As the Raptors, what do you do instead? You can't, you don't win in free agency.
Hold on. This is what I would have done. If Siakam had taken, let's say, a couple million less, let's say 10 million less a year, you could have given Ibaka all that money.
They could have given Ibaka more money regardless.
he didn't. He signed for like 2 years. What, $19 million for the
18.
Clippers?
18.
18. That's $9 million a year. So,
Nothing. They could have signed him. They could have done
Right.
that with still paying Pascal.
They could have signed a better backup center. Like, I love Chris Boucher. The dude has balled out, but he's just too skinny at this point. Right?
Well,
he brings some other things to the table,
yeah.
but like Baines, not worth the money.
No.
Len has already been cut.
Yep.
So I don't know. Like, there's got to be, and that defensive cohesion that you've been talking about just hasn't been there all year. So obviously it's not all Siakam's fault. I get that, but I don't know if he's a max player or not.
It's the easy ones that he should be making that don't go in, that just make you shake your head, right? And the easy layups, when he has an open layup and he does a spin move and makes it contested, that's when it gets trouble. Yes, agreed. But let's just remember, we're still early in the season. The New York Knicks are currently sitting in the 8th spot of the East, okay? So let's just all settle down. Cleveland Cavaliers are in the 7th spot in the East, and the Atlanta Hawks, well, they're pretty good too, but they're in the 6th spot. And remember, they were 15, 14, and 13 last year, respectively.
That doesn't mean anything.
Yes, because the season's going to go on. They're still the Miami Heat. They're going to bounce back. They're still the Raptors. They're going to get in there. And the Magic are probably going to fight for that spot too.
Oh, the Magic are not that good. Come on.
Yeah, but I put them in the same level as the Knicks, the Cavaliers. Yeah. I would say the Hawks are a step above them.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'm just saying it's early. There's lots of time.
Not that early. It's already a quarter of the way through the season. The trend is
17 games out of 72. Okay.
It's almost 25%.
Yeah, I'm just saying
there's 25%.
There's lots of time still.
Yeah, but there's also lots of time for it to stay the same.
True. But anyone that's watching the Raptors now, they're totally trending in a better direction than the start of the season.
Well, there's only one place to go when you're at the bottom.
Yeah. So, but you can see that they're putting it together. Okay.
Maybe. We'll see.
Okay. So at this point, do you guys call the Raptors making the playoffs at least?
8th seed, yeah.
Drew?
Yeah, they get in.
They're
not going to be a top seed.
I think they get in as well.
First round
exit, most likely.
Matt, if they play Brooklyn, that'd be the worst matchup.
Oh yeah. Sweet.
Anyways. Yeah. Okay. I'm just
saying, back off of Pascal Siakam, all right? You guys, give him a break. Give him a break.
No.
It's not his fault. There's not enough talent on the rest of the roster.
Debatable. I hold Pascal to this. There's Kawhi who's way above here.
This is what he's supposed to be Kawhi. He's not Kawhi. He's never going to
I don't expect him to be Kawhi. I just expect him to hit some shots. That's all.
No, everyone wants him to be Kawhi. That's what it is.
Well, they paid him like they paid Kawhi. So, all right, that's enough of that. I'm done rambling.
With no sports to watch on TV, esports have been shooting off the charts. What are esports, you may ask? Well, basically, it's competitive video gaming. Esports are fun to watch, and my favorite gamer to watch is a guy named Vandalize. Vandalize plays a variety of consoles and games, including the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. What makes him so unique is that he plays these games with the controller upside down. It is a talent unlike any other. You can check his Twitch stream out, and you can find the link in the Sports Reverends Instagram bio, or you can search him up on Twitch, Vandalized, with 2 Z's or Z's. His control will be upside down.
All right, Drew, round us up here. Talk hockey and baseball because we don't know as much as you.
Well, the big news in Winnipeg is that Patrick Laine got traded for Dubois, and there's some uproar from the Jets fans. And I'm here to just tell you to calm down. Because
it's not okay, man. It's not okay.
Laine is not a good hockey player. He's a good goal scorer. He is not a good hockey player.
Elaborate on that a little bit. Elaborate on that.
People forget that hockey is you have to play defense as well. Like you're on the ice. It's not like football where you have offensive and defensive players. If you are bad, you don't play on special teams. Then you get yanked off the ice if your team is shorthanded because you can't be trusted on the ice. If you watch Laine play, he is a lazy player. And this Dubois coming in, people don't realize he was taken one pick behind Laine. He's a first round. I believe he captained the Team Canada junior team when he was 17. He's a leader. His comparison to a player that people might know is Patrice Bergeron. Probably the closest comparison. The way he plays defensively, he's a center. It's what the Jets need. It just fits the team way better.
Yeah. I think Columbus was really smart in this trade, though. In the fact that they got Laine and they got Rosovich, but they also got Winnipeg to pay some of the guys' salary. Right, so that's in a salary cap era, that's a pretty good tactic to use.
Well, and both guys were unhappy with their situation, so I think it's better to send them somewhere else. Hopefully, they can both have fresh starts. But I'm just telling you, Laine will not last long in Columbus if Tortorella is still the coach there. Yeah. Tortorella does not put up with players that don't play.
He benched Dubois after.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see how it ends up.
For you. Does Dubois? What is it going to take for Dubois to stay after his contract? Because he's got 2 years, right? This year, next year.
Yeah. I think if he earns a top 6 forward role, like if he's on the first or second line, he's obviously not taking Scheifele's spot. But if he can settle into that second line spot, maybe be on the first power play unit, I think he'll be happy to stay, especially if he comes back and we're playing in front of the PAC stadium again. Like, there's no better place to play, like atmosphere wise. Maybe than a Toronto, Montreal. That's where he wanted to go, was to a big market. But once you play in front of Winnipeg fans, I think he'll be hooked. Like, he's a Canadian boy.
Doesn't his dad coach the Moose?
Yeah, his dad's an assistant coach for the Moose. So
the who?
Yeah, who cares? But he'll be familiar.
Well, I was just speaking to him liking Winnipeg.
No, I know.
Yeah, but I think people will forget about Laine before the end of the year. Uh-huh. This fits the team way better.
Fair enough.
All right, Ben Cancel, you heard it. Stop crying about it. All right, Blue Jays talk.
Oh, this is me again?
Yep.
Yeah.
George Springer, biggest contract in Blue Jays history. Similar to the Vernon Wells contract, I think if you go with inflation, people are excited about it. He's a Asterix World Series winner. With true. The Astros, he fills a lot of needs that the Blue Jays have. Leadoff hitter, center fielder, but the big but here is 6 years for a 31-year-old in baseball.
Yeah.
It's all you have to do is look at what the Angels have just gone through with Albert Pujols. He's not on Albert Pujols level,
right?
But the Angels paid Albert Pujols past 30, and they are regretting that. They're still paying him over $20 million to sit on their bench. And it's if you take this contract through 37, it's going to look worse than the Pujols contract based on what Springer does well are things that deteriorate from a baseball player.
They don't age well.
Yeah. Speed, athleticism. He strikes out a lot as well, something people won't look at, but he's a great playoff hitter. Clutch. He hits a lot of leadoff home runs. Like if you're looking to start off a game well, I think he's got some sort of record for leadoff home runs. We'll see. And the other thing they might be thinking about George Springer, he's a high-profile player who might attract guys to come to Toronto. True. I think that might be the other thing in stepping out and getting him. They almost got Michael Brantley to come with them. That would have been way worse of a mistake than even signing Springer. But that's another topic. Marcus Semien, I really like the deal today as well. A guy coming from Oakland playing in that big ballpark. It's going to translate really well to Toronto. Anyways.
Now is the time for them to spend, though, right? They got a bunch of young, controllable talent.
Baseball is different in the way they do contracts. A lot of people aren't familiar with how baseball works. From the day you come to the big leagues, you have 6 years of control over the player. That's a lot of years when you look at baseball players because they usually spend a couple years in the minors. So you're looking at very youngest, 21, 22, you get them till they're 28. And that's why we're getting a guy like Springer. He was a late bloomer.
Yeah.
So we're not getting him in free agency till he's 31. But we'll see. I like what they're doing.
So where do you think the Blue Jays finish this year, Drew? Playoff team?
Ooh, that's tough.
Assuming it's a full season.
Yeah, I don't know how they're doing. Are they adding another if they do another thing like they did, adding another wild card team?
I think so. I know it's full 162 games or whatever.
Is it? I thought they shortened it.
Oh, did they?
In their division, it's going to be Yankees. I think they can finish top 2 in their division.
Yeah. Because the Red Sox aren't great.
Red Sox are terrible. Baltimore's terrible. Tampa Bay traded away Blake Snell, which is their ace. And Charlie Morton signed in Atlanta. That's their top 2 pitchers. They're gone.
And the Yankees might just get hurt all over again. So
yeah, the Yankees are the only team in their division that I think they finish top 2. And with the amount of games they get to play against bad teams, like you just got to beat up on Baltimore. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
They should be able to get a wild card spot for sure.
There it is. Blue Jays in the wild card spot. We got it. Hot off the press. Here we go. All right, everybody. That is a wrap for this Sports Reverends episode. Stay tuned for some random Sports Reverends going live because I think we talked about maybe jumping in and commentating on some games. So just stay tuned. Check out all our social medias. Coach, you want to say anything about anything?
Check out our website. Lots of good stuff there. Waiting for a new Raptors report to come out soon. Maybe. Or Pascal Siakam, maybe.
Pascal Siakam defense report.
Oh, brutal. Check out the website. Check out our socials. We'd love to interact with you guys. And that's all I got.
All right, stay tuned, world. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.